Okay, I'm going to start walking around out of the office where we just were. This is going to be a French door, double opening. It's going to have, let's see, this one's going to have an astragal on it. And at any rate, what was I going to say? I think this one's 15 light pieces of glass. And anyway, that's what it's going to be. This is the hallway. A couple can lightings up over the hallway, and then not going to have a door here. Going to walk into the kitchen, and you can see it's all headered and everything up here. So you're going to walk into the kitchen. There'll be some counter space here. There'll be a phone here, and this is where you typically drop your keys or whatever. And then this is a wall that Scott framed up to put the gas stovetop. And so we have our gas line over there. Our electric, and what we're going to have is a pot filler for water. Now we've already blocked it to mount our exhaust fan and the electric for the exhaust fan, and he pretty much had to reframe this roof. You're not allowed by fire code to have any kind of opening between these wall sections, so it's completely closed off. And then he went up and squared it out for an 8-inch it's going to be like a chimney kind of exhaust fan, and it'll take a 6-inch flue, but it'll have an 8-inch surround around it, so it's all, you know, kind of trimmed off, and you'll see this nice little chimney hood sitting here. So this is stove area, and then this will all be counter space along here, counter space and cabinets, and to the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink will sit at an angle. And then the cabinet tops will come around here with granite. There'll be, what do you call them, the big chairs, bar stools, 42 inches high, so you can have, you know, people sitting there and so on. And all the pre-wire for disposals and stuff like that. We're going to have some pendant lights over here, over this bar, coming down from here. So that's all been measured out and calculated with the cabinet guys and the electrician and so on. This will be the eat-in kitchen nook. There's a gas line over here off this wall that runs out to the patio for barbecue, and you can see the gas line running through. That's already been checked out by the gas company. You can see again some of my strapping that was done all along the headers, and I'll take pictures of this water faucets that go out onto the back patio and into the backyard. This is motion detectors that we've got nailed off so that we don't lose it in the foam or with the drywall guy. But this is basically looking back into the kitchen. It's a pretty large kitchen. And I put a box up here that's probably going to be covered in case we wanted one hang-down light, or somebody did, or we decided to put in some kind of rolling, what do you call that thing? The thing you know, little countertop in the center, but it'll probably be blocked off. The rest of it's going to be can lighting, like you can see, plus some pennants, plus under-counter lighting. This over here is going to be the oven microwave combination, you know, your wall oven stuff. And coming this way, very large pantry all along this wall, and then refrigerator, freezer, French door opening, refrigerator with bottom freezer. And you can see Scott has envisioned a command center here for our laptop. So there's a whole handful of wire. I have not figured out how we're going to coordinate this with the sheetrocker, because the cabinet maker, they'll be all custom-made cabinetry. We've known the guy for 20 years. He's going to actually cabinet a surround for the refrigerator and then put receptacles in it so that you can sit here, look into the great room at the television and run it with your computer and do all kinds of things. And so there's sound wires, you know, tied off up there. This is just video wires and TV cable and satellite and, oh, do you call it RJ5, RJ6? There's a name for it, and for some reason I'm just totally lost when I start doing this. This is that lamb board that we had in previous movies. This is the support going across here. It's the strongest piece of wood known to man. Scott and I put that up, and it's a laminated piece of wood that is just unbelievably strong. So that's what runs across here, and then I've even strapped that with a 30-inch or 36-inch strap to keep that on center on this wall if need be, if there's any kind of movement or shrinking of the house. Again, you can see the stripping that's done on the ceiling. Scott's got to get back in here and make sure everything's just right for the drywall guy before he gets here. He'll be coming right after that. Coming off of this is, Scott originally had an 8-foot countertop. The cabinet man's going to make us a wood-like countertop. You know, the house is supposed to be kind of craftsman, and he's going to do some legs or something under it. We're going to look at pictures today. But it's all going to be all handmade instead of a standard, you know, Formica or granite or whatever countertop. And we've shortened it to 6 feet. I did that because 8 feet was just outrageous when I looked at the tape. But anyway, the idea, this will be 42 inches high, just like the other bar over here. You'll be able to access it from either side, and you'll be able to sit here and play with your computer and, you know, watch TV at the same time. And there's the fridge. Still got to figure out the wine cooler. There's a wine cooler going over here, and the cabinet guy pointed out some problems with the size on it, so I got to work on that today. It's nice to have somebody else in here working, doing the foam today, because you can't come in the house, and so it actually gives me an opportunity to get something done. This is just our workbench right here. They've got everything covered up, and this is looking up into the attic. This is some platform material. It's basically OSB sitting up there on the floor up there, and not to tell anybody, but you could finish that off as a room up there. We gained I don't know how many square feet. I want to take one last look at this. If you're looking straight up, that King Ridge runs from there to there, and you can see, if you can see right up there, that's where all your ridge lumber meets. Scott built doohickeys that ran up there. This now is kind of like a final support, but he ran doohickeys up there that came all the way down to this concrete. And then before any of this stuff was here, that's the first piece of wood that went up. And it's a 2x10, and it's got to be, let me see, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, okay, so it's only 14, 16 feet long, 2x10. Lift one up sometime, and you see how it brings all the ridges together over there, and all the ridges, and then all your 2x8 rafters come off of it. Scott went up on the end of a 16-foot ladder before anything was out here, and at the full extension of the ladder, with one hand, took that board up there and sat it in place. He made a cradle for it to temporarily hold it, and then he went up there with a level to level it, and then you start tying your ridge rafters, whatever you want to call them, off. All 4 of these tie off to these knee walls over here that Scott built, and we're up there, just Scott and me, putting these up, and while Scott's up on the ladder, up here, I'm over here on the edge of these knee walls, 30 feet off the ground, something like that. And I don't even want to look back at what he's doing up there. Let him do what he wants, but I'm not going to look. It's somebody standing up there at the end of a step ladder, and it's breezy out, and you have, so anyway, that's the reason for this platform, and we'll probably just leave it up there. We can expand it or change it because you can get up into the attic and do whatever we want up there, but that's originally why that was made. This, by the way, is in the great room. TV over there. I have no idea what else is going on the wall. That's the office, and that's the front entry. So you come in and you walk right into the great room. Interesting story on that. I'll take it up on the next movie.